You have my permission.
Hi, everyone. As you know, I am David Wade. This is our Wellness Wednesday. Thank you for coming back week after week. Today, special guest, my teacher, my Sifu, Dr. Joseph Carter. We're here to freestyle a session. We didn't make a plan. We're just going to talk and let you guys listen today. That's our service. Hi.
No schedule, big schedule, right? The plan of now.
Right on. You'll see us look up from time to time because that's where the big screen monitor is. That's where we can see everyone's faces. If you guys would like to participate, please turn your cameras on so we can see you and engage. And everyone's looking at us. They're not looking at you. So if you turn your cameras on, we get to see you. That'd be great. Now, we can go ahead and start. So here we are in these cold winter seasons. People are getting sniffly, coughy, congesty, head coldy, right? Like NyQuil season. But we don't want to take NyQuil, right? So what can we do, Sifu, to handle our sinus congestion, our coughs, our colds?
Well, we'll start with prevention is better than cure, so don't get one. But if you already got one, immediate sinus decongestion. Right, there's a point, large intestine 20, welcome perfume, right? Here's the end of your nose. There's a little groove right there going to the lip. It's called the nasolabial groove, nose to the lip. Right there, right next to the nose. Go ahead and press in. And then a little lift with the pressure. And just so happens there's a little nerve there, and so you'll feel it. We should take a picture of David now, though, because he could have to pay money for that one. Okay, but right there. Okay, opens the sinuses. Hey, how does it do that? It's increasing circulation locally. All right. Again, there's this little circumflex nerve right in that groove. You stimulate that nerve, the nervous system goes, what is that? Okay, wait a minute. Right? Yeah, especially with our recent and kind of we're in the umbra COVID. One of the symptoms is the loss of smell. So this becomes really a long-term treatment point too. Okay, because many people think, oh, loss of smell for a couple days, not a problem. It isn't. But if you can't smell the gas burning on the stove, or you can't smell something you're cooking burning, that's dangerous, right? So, and you can do just one side and then the other, so you can still cook, all right? I play with this, but one of the things I try and do is expand what medicine is into something we can all do, okay? That medicine isn't necessarily something you buy at a drugstore or you get from a doctor or any other provider. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, okay? But the medicine that you take home, the medicine of how you live, the medicine of how you eat, the medicine of how you exercise, the medicine of humor. They say, right? Laughter is a good medicine. Well, it turns out a little bit of Dao Yin, okay, or acupressure, good medicine.
Wow, so I really liked how you talked about doing one side at a time.
Sure.
And immediately that reminded me of yoga breathing exercises,
sure.
Pranayama, where you breathe through one nostril at a time. I'd imagine that would also be a good head cold sinus clearing treatment. And if I may, you said this point out here, just outside the nostril. Is there a point inside the nostril?
You can pick your friends.
Marilyn like that joke. Marilyn like that.
But you can't pick your friend's nose, okay? Sorry, okay? I made him laugh. I got it. I made him laugh.
Okay, so for my bad joke, you were going to say something though.
Well, first of all, no. I'm at the temple, okay? I'm Wudang West, all right? All around us are eucalyptus trees. Everybody knows what a eucalyptus tree is, right? Okay? Used to be in the U.S. pharmacopoeia for opening up the sinuses and the lungs, okay? Anybody here ever had a eucalyptus cough drop? Eucalyptol, okay? It's good stuff. It's good medicine. You can get some of the leaves in the hills. Don't take too many of them, but there's plenty of them. You wash them, clean them, you let them dry. You have some steamy water, you break them up, okay? It infuses the air. You breathe better. Okay? It also has a chemistry in it. 1,8-cyanol. Get rid of the chemistry. Eucalyptol is what they call it. Okay? It's antiviral against all sorts of corona and herpes family viruses. I like that. And it smells good. Most eucalyptus smells good. Some eucalyptus gets a little ripe for me. But we've got some nice ones in the hills. You can easily get it at Sprouts, Whole Foods. You probably have some friends that have essential oil someplace. They probably have eucalyptus.
Yeah. Eucalyptus, to that point, I love what you said about gathering some sprigs. Is it also possible to take some sprigs, hang them in your shower, and then the steam of your shower, and you kind of get a nice aromatherapy that way too?
Literally, a good friend of mine, she's an aromatherapist at a highest level, okay? She makes these things, they're heart-shaped cakes that have baking soda. They're permeated with eucalyptus oil. They're shower tablets, not bath tablets. You put them just off the stream. You put them in there. Okay?
Wow.
Now, the fresh eucalyptus is one thing, but I would also think about storing some, drying some. Okay? So use some now, put some away for later, because when you can actually crackle them, then the steam and the water will move through them. Yeah.
Science. Okay.
Well, practical science, it's what led to farming. It's what led to eating.
Yeah. And then in weeks before Chanda, you would talk about how you take the hot, steamy towel and you put it on your face and you inhale all that. I'd imagine you could put some eucalyptus essential oil there too. Just careful your eyes, maybe.
Yeah. Some people will put a hot pan of water underneath, okay? Put a drop or two of the eucalyptus in there. You can do the tent, or you can also do steam and just catch some of it, with your towel. And then put it on. Catch. And
is oregano oil another good one too?
It's strong.
Strong.
It's very strong. It can actually burn your skin. It can actually burn the mucous membranes. So you're going to want to dilute it. You want my line on this one?
Yeah.
The proper dosing, the proper dilution of oregano oil is called Italian food. You dilute it with marinara sauce, okay?
Yeah, John, just like that, John. Yeah, just.
Actually, I'm talking in the pasta tense now. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a live crew. I like this. Okay.
It's nice.
But I learned this at about the time I met you. Okay, we had all sorts of essential oils at the Acupressure Institute. Someone told me it's really good for a sore throat to take oregano oil, and I'm an immersive learner. I just try it. Okay. And, Shennong, the ancient of herbs in Chinese culture, he ate everything and lived through everything, so he could tell you how everything works. Okay? Oregano, shot to the back of the... The sore throat was gone, but the raspy throat lasted about a week. Okay? So I literally burnt the infection out, or whatever it was. But the mucous membranes, they're tender. Okay, so I would probably dilute it, maybe 20% with a good coconut oil or even a good olive oil that would taste good, coat the throat. I know.
Okay.
See, it's dinner time. I always talk food medicine at dinner time.
Well, I want to add to these points, right? They're great for clearing sinus, as we started with. But there's another exercise that we have for clearing the sinus too. And you just take your trigger fingers and you put them right under your little eye socket, this little nook here, like you're crying, and you dredge and you drag out, right? You just trace under your cheekbones, right? And you pull out. Extra credit. One finger hook the nose to the side while this one dredges, and as you do it, inhale.
Yeah.
It's like doing a line of yourself. Marilyn, you like all my jokes today. Marilyn is laughing. You're a hoot, right? And you do the other side too, right? You hook the nose, and do the other side. Hook the nose. This
Well,
side.
then, right under the cheekbone, right there, stomach 4, there's another point, another good for opening up the perinasal sinuses, right under here. So middle of my eye drops down. If you're looking at someone else, look for the center of their pupil, drop down the cheek, right there. Okay, and again, press up. You hit the nerve. You go, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Increasing the local circulation increases the circulation in the sinuses. Helps your immune system start clearing and fighting stuff off. My nose is clearing just talking about it. Yeah.
All right. So then,
that's really active.
Yeah, it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we got points. We have exercises. We have essential oils. Put your oregano in your Italian food. But speaking of your Italian food, if we have phlegm, mucus, cough stuff, don't do the cheese. Right? Stay away from the cheese that is very phlegm-inducing, very mucus-causing. Right? Another thing, maybe any of the dairy family, the milk, the creams, the ricottas, the parmesans.
They're so good with my oregano. Sorry.
Yeah, but in the conversation of head colds and sinus stuff, stay away from the dairy, at least for the rest of the season, and give your body time to clear all that gunk out.
I'd add too, probably wheat for a good number of people.
Yeah.
And they go well so together.
The pasta, yeah, and the wheat. Mm-hmm. And then things that you can enjoy, maybe zest, citrus zest. Maybe not so much the fruit, but the zest is going to be really good for you, right? That'll help clear the mucus.
Don't get me talking about the citruses, man. Just don't do that.
I want to smell some. Give me some citrus. You got citrus?
What happened? I got orange here.
My teacher carries his little pouch of essential oils everywhere he goes.
Yep. Again, medicine, okay? Here. Let's do the palm. Rub them together. And
can they see what this is? Can you hold it up to the camera?
Well, this is an orange essential oil that I've diluted down to right to that little camera right there.
There you go.
Okay. Diluted it down with good organic coconut oil. It's down at about 25%. So there's more of the coconut than there is of the orange.
That smells like Tang. You guys know Tang? T-A-N-G, Tang?
It went into space.
Sorry, no smell-o-vision. You guys can't smell.
That's what we got to invent, man. That is definitely it, isn't it? Yeah. The smell of the tea, we get that on there too. Now a little orange oil in the tea. But citruses, okay? Major chemistry is called D-limonene, okay? Turns out it's anti-cancer, antiviral, antifungal, all sorts of antis, okay? And your auntie wants you to use it, you know what I mean? And the citruses then have a whole spectrum. They come in all sorts of different colors. And so each of them has a little bit different medicine. It's also like orange. This is the most kid-friendly of them all, okay? Lemon's a little sharp. It's in so many cleaning products. We're kind of hyper used to lemon. Right? Grapefruit is a little bit more, I'm going to go do my homework. People have heard of bergamot essential oil. What was it? Next Generation, or was it Jean-Luc Picard? Do you remember Star Trek at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Earl Grey, hot for thinking, right? Bergamot is the citrus that's in Earl Grey tea. Medicine of mood, medicine of awareness there.
Yeah.
Okay. Orange is the most childlike. Kids like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about tangerine?
Tangerine is Citrus nobilis. Okay. It's classically cultivated in China. Okay. And it's noble. All right. The tangerine and the mandarin class. Mandarin tangerines. Okay. So there is a cultural. It's the color of the new year. It's gold, giving someone gold. It's all of that. It's auspicious. Okay. It's also playful, but it's just, for me, it's a little bit more noble.
Okay. And then how about, you mentioned grapefruit. What about pomelo?
I have not smelled pomelo oil yet. And one thing I will say, just in a practical thing, any citrus, you're going to get the oil out of the rind, okay, not out of the fruit, okay. And so you, as much as possible, want to have a good organic citrus because they cold press it rather than heat diffuse it, okay. And if you diffuse something like they do with most essential oils, the pesticides and other things like that that might be toxic, heavy metals, don't go across the membrane in that one. But the citrus with a cold press, anything that the rind got, your oil's going to get, or at least potentially. Okay, so you'll find that the people that are making a good citrus oil are there's organic on the label. Okay, yeah. Now, if you're growing lemons in your backyard, if you're lucky enough to have a Meyer lemon, okay,
We have them. Come get them. Our
Yeah.
trees are popping.
yeah, I'm taking some. Okay. I think you could cold press that one and you would have Wu Dang molecules in there. That wouldn't be so bad. Yeah. But my point there just is that know the source, especially if you're going to do a cold press oil.
Cool.
Yeah.
Guys, so we've got foods, we've got oils, we've got exercise, we've got points for head cold, sinus congestion. Here we are in the winter months. We should all be hibernating. I think maybe another thing to talk about is sleep, quality of sleep too. How's people's sleeps? Show of hands if you get enough sleep. Show of hands, you wake up
Mine's
rested.
been way too much lately, but I like it anyway.
How many of us get up many times in the night to pee? Incontinence of the bladder happens more than twice. Who's got more than twice?
It's usually
Okay. All right. Chanda. Okay. If you're drinking 40s all night, that'll do it.
stay hydrated, man. That's why it
Oh,
happens.
yeah, there it goes. Wow. So, insomnia, quality of sleep, depth of sleep. What can we do for that?
Well, let's go points first.
Points, yeah.
Okay. Simple point to find, simple point to use, one of the biggest ones for calming the body, and it's always in an acupuncture insomnia protocol. Okay? I'm going to go, let's see, I think I can do it best like this. There's my wrist, okay? Little finger at the base. There's a major crease across the base of the wrist. Here under the little finger, there's a tendon, and then as you move in, there's another tendon. In between, heart 7, spirit gate. Okay? One of the most calming points in the body.
I feel that.
Yeah. You could do them together like this. Okay? This is one of the other effects of this point is it clears the throat. Classic in Chinese opera, someone's going to come in, they're going to sing their aria. They enter like this, and then they can sing. That stance is their aria, their voice is coming on stage. Yeah.
It's almost like a plum blossom type, Vajra palm type movement too. Very big in Indian folk dance.
Yeah.
Wow, and Beijing. Wow.
There's some of it in aloha in a different way, right? Yeah. But this is the point. This is the point I'm going to send somebody home with. All right. So, I mean, clearly, you want to make sure that they're cutting down on the caffeine. You want to make sure they're not getting really activated at 8, 9, or 9. Be watching some scary sci-fi movie or something like that that's going to get an adrenaline spark. Okay. Food-wise, classically, carbs will tend to calm you down. Okay. There's again, I don't want to go into the dairy, but the classic Western one was warm milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe warm coconut milk. I don't know. Okay. A lot of different oils. Lavender is a real simple relaxant and anti-insomnia oil. I'm just trying to think. Dat Zao, Chinese dates.
Red dates.
Yeah. Okay, warm, not too hot, not really dense.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's such a nice dessert too. If you guys are familiar, Sada, you might know the red dates with azuki beans, the red bean, red date soup. Mm.
That's a classic winter one too because it's good for
Yeah.
the kidneys. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
and again,
mm-hmm.
it's going to get that wintertime insomnia too. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. I really like your point about wind down rituals too. If you can't sleep, that's typically what I advise in clinic is create a wind down ritual a good 2 hours before you're ready to sleep. Like tone down the lights, turn off your electronic devices, don't drink any more fluids, right? Journal, pray, meditate, kind of ease yourself.
I like this a lot. This is one of the ones I try and get across. If you have a ritual or a ceremony that ends your day well, it feels good just doing that. And then as you get used to it and your body gets used to it, it becomes something that is reliable. You can trust it. Um, some people will write and let loose the bad thoughts of the day or things that they want to do tomorrow and stuff like that. So it's not working around in their subconscious at night or in their mind going, what am I got to do tomorrow before they can't fall asleep? Da, 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 right? Mm-hmm. So something, I had a Hindi friend said, oh, I always wash my face in a certain way before I go to sleep. Okay, I do this and this, and then that. And then he basically you've seen kids with blankies, right? Right? Self-soothing, okay? Mm-hmm. Warm water washing the face. Many of you women probably have this experience, especially cleaning. If you wear any makeup or any cosmetic during the day, you can actually kind of downshift through that process. It's usually an upshift to wear it, to get out there, to put your face on for work or event, but use that. Well, what we have in the Western world is sleep is an event that my Apple Watch is going to tell me when to do it and how long. Okay, it's becoming like that, and it's actually not an event; it's a process. And we like the process on the sleep side of it and the dream side of it, and going through the different brain waves to be nice and long. 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay? So you can elongate that. You can get some of the value of that 8 hours by having a 20-minute ritual on each end of it. Mm. Okay? If we, instead of waking up like, alarm clock, I gotta go to work, I'm in an industrial capitalist society, I've gotta make some money, okay? I'm already adrenalized, and which is basically the precondition for my next insomnia. Does that make sense? All right. So if I have a ritual that lets me, again, wash my face, take a shower, really enjoy the heat and the steam, maybe throw some eucalyptus in there, okay? But make a ceremony out of it. It doesn't have to be ornate or complicated. In fact, ornate and complicated is really cool. It's just not very reliably redone. Mm-hmm. Keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think there is a thing, whatever someone might use for insomnia, how they make that ritual is also a part. We were talking earlier, David and I, about set and setting, okay? That the setting that someone does a medicinal event or process in is part of the process. In cooking, when you cook at your own home, it's really different than eating out. Okay, you have a control, or you're at home with the process, or maybe you're not, depending on your home. All right, but that you know your own home, you know your own bathroom, you know your own bedroom. Okay, the lights get a little lower. Maybe you put some music on. You shift the gears. I mean, again, in the modern world, we're all about upshifting. Okay, any employer will give you a free cup of coffee. Okay? Very few employers will give you a paid nap. Okay? So we create our own ritual, ceremony, self-care. I'm not sure exactly what you want to call it, but if I can make it repeatable and pleasant, Sweet dreams.
Nice. Who found that valuable? Oh, great.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I love thumbs
Well,
up. I love it.
Okay. Here we go.
I teach a lot online, teaching acupressure and essential oils, and I've tried to read the chat, okay? But if someone goes like this on screen, I get it immediately. And if I'm looking at the chat, I miss that entirely, right? So, 2 thumbs
There we
up.
go, good.
Siskel and Ebert, I'm getting good reviews.
So to tie in the other stuff, we have points, exercise, right? A qigong movement for insomnia. One move that I find quite helpful is this kind of neck stretch, but specifically side to side. And I'm going to sit up and kind of lead you guys through it. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ease my ear down towards my shoulder, and that's going to give me length along the side of my neck. And this other ear that's now up, I want to try and lift it up a little bit more. And that's going to happen by drawing my chest up and drawing my shoulders back and trying to get more length along that side of my neck. I want to relax and settle back to neutral. And then I can repeat on the other side, right? One ear down, and then the other ear goes up. There you go, Miranda, you got it. Sada, you got it. Ann, you got it. Connie, you got it. Wonderful.
I just got a neck adjustment. Do I have to pay for this?
And so you just kind of slowly, the slower the better.
Yeah.
Right? And time your breathing with it. Find a rhythm. Make the inside breath match the outside movement. And when you coordinate that smooth and slow, what you're doing is you're threading your vagus nerve.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you activate that vagus nerve. That's going to tap that parasympathetic rest and digest. It's going to help you settle, get you out of that fight or flight mode, and help you settle into rest. It's one of my favorite exercises. A dab will do you. 3 to 5 on each side will completely shift your space. And the slower, the smoother, the better. So let that be part of your kind of nighttime ritual. Right?
That brought up something. Parasympathetic, the opposite of fight or flight, the relaxation response, okay? Jasmine flower, jasmine essential oil, one of the best plant bases to switch into the parasympathetic, okay? We talked citruses earlier. Bergamot is a quick little shift into parasympathetic. And then the classic, the most world famous of them is sandalwood. Santal Malva, the sacred sandalwood from India. Now most of it's grown in Australia, but very like, oh. What was I talking about? Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful segue of smelling something and forgetting what you're talking about. Another substance that can do that is cannabinoids. And some of you might be familiar with CBD products. They're gaining popularity. You can get them at any corner store now. They're in juices and coffees and donuts, and everything has CBD in it these days. But there's a specific cannabinoid to rest, and that's the CBN variety. And nighttime nappy nap, CBN.
I call that CBN, CB night night.
CB night night.
I wonder if Steph does that.
So that said, if you guys are open to cannabis as medicine, the CBD cannabinoid is specific for getting some rest. And actually, my teacher's done a great deal of research on the cannabinoid spectrum. Could you add a little bit more to that, Stephen?
Let me first, yes. Okay, that's my favorite answer is yes. Okay, then I have to explain myself. Okay. We have found over the last 20, 50 years that internally human beings have this thing we call the ECS, or the endocannabinoid system, okay? We have molecules inside that we make, okay? There's one that's called a nandamide, it's a bliss molecule. And when someone takes in a phytocannabinoid from a plant, it stimulates that in our brain, but our brain already has the chemistry. We already make these things, so it's not like we have to have a cannabinoid, but they are, we've evolved from that chemistry in a way, okay? We've internalized it, inside cannabinoids, okay? So any phytocannabinoid I might take as a supplement to help my nervous system do something it's already doing, maybe just do it better, okay? People know melatonin. We were talking about sleep stuff, okay? It's a neurotransmitter. It's a release from the pineal gland, all sorts of stuff, right? And it is actually activated in the nervous system by endocannabinoids, okay? So again, this is really changing science right now. We used to think fight or flight, okay? And that was the nervous system. It is fight or flight. That's the adrenal response and the relaxation response, but they are mediated largely by the endocannabinoid system. Okay, you remember the runner's high, internal opioids? Okay, turns out internal opioids are mediated by the endocannabinoid system. I can even hear you guys saying it, and some of you are muted, but I still hear you. Okay, so there's a part of our biochemistry we did not know until someone who was studying the plant started finding similar parts of us that reacted to it, okay? And similar things that we create that mimic it. No, it's the other way around. THC, quote unquote, mimics anandamide, which is a naturally occurring molecule that human beings make sometimes when you eat chocolate, when you have a really good meal and you go, oh, that was excellent, there's anandamide seeping into the system. Anandamide comes on in orgasm. This is usually where everybody starts paying attention, okay? Hops, a lot of other plants have an endocannabinoid. Look at, I got Chanda is smiling there big, okay? Okay. Well, we're humans, okay? The life force made us, okay? The reasons that their ancestors, they were horny, okay? Sorry, but it's true. The life force sustains us, okay? And you've got to have some good life force if you want to bring a kid into the world. I'll just leave it at that. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, the endocannabinoid system is what is going to be worked with when you take a CBD. Okay? Turns out CBD in just broad spectrum, it's one of the best things for a person from 20 to 40 to deal with anxiety. Okay? You use it with some behavioral med, it works even better for both of them. Okay, it's wild. This is new research. But if we take the endocannabinoid system as part of us, and then we start figuring out how to work with it, it's better than being unconscious of it and not knowing what we're doing. All right? If you want to use a cannabinoid, in the last 10 years, the classic one is CBN, okay? Which is a breakdown product of CBD. So the plant had the CBD, it broke down, THC broke down into CBN. This may only be me, but if you have a friend that has some grass, some pot that was in the garage for a long time, okay, and then someone finds it and decides they're going to smoke it, they get to the couch and they go, because the THC and the CBD in there have degraded into CBN, okay? This is part of why people started using cannabis for sleep is because they had raided somebody's garage and found the old stash. Okay? Then as we do the science, the plant is going to degrade these things too over time. A plant is fresh and then a plant degrades. Okay? So CBN being in degradation, it's not bad, it's not gone bad. But if you have a strain from the dispensary that's high in CBN, it's sleepier. Okay? You can get it from CBD, so people are taking it out of CBD, then adding it back into CBD to get a full entourage effect. And then the CBN is bumped, and all of a sudden, I slept better last night. What was that? I want to try that again.
And my teacher and I have had real life experience with this. Just recently, we went to San Diego to present at this conference.
Yeah.
And
this is amazing.
yeah, hugest Chinese medicine conference in the nation. It's an annual thing. It's the biggest one since lockdowns of COVID. And people are flying in literally from all over the world, sleeping in distant hotels. No one's getting good sleep because it was also daylight savings that weekend, right? And we were there for 3 days. Very first day, we were handing out the CBN. Very next day, at least a dozen people came up saying, "Oh my God, the best sleep of my life." And so imagine 4 in bed, daylight savings, whatever is keeping you from sleeping. The CBN is a really good product.
Yeah, I'd say too, from working with my patients, is like very situational, okay? And this is not someone who's had insomnia for 6 years, okay? That's going to take something, you're going to have to find a blend that's more for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still have CBN in there, but it's a more chronic issue. You've got to deal with that piece of it. But again, these are acupuncturists. They're getting continuing education. They flew in. They spent thousands of dollars to be there. There's people there. They're not wearing masks. The first conference post-COVID, or peri-COVID, I think we'll call it peri-COVID. Okay, not como. That's another one. And they're anxious. Okay, they're around their peers or people they think are higher or lower. There's that whole piece going on, and they're not sleeping well. You're in someone else's house. You're in a hotel. Hell, I just think about the bill and that keeps me awake, okay? But in that situation, which is a discontinuation of their normal routine where they might be sleeping well or passively, the CBN, bam, got it. So I would think of it again, great for travelers, okay? You change time zones, okay? That first couple days trying to get into that time zone, you've gone 6 hours, which is exactly the wrong, if you go 12, it's almost better. 24, well, I didn't miss nothing, okay? But I'll stop going on this one. But these, again, I wish we had YouTubed those people. These are practitioners that are coming in, okay? They've studied, they're in practice, they're professional people. They know about herbs, they know about stuff. They've heard about CBD. They really don't have all that much knowledge about like the minor cannabinoids we're talking about. And they're like, how do I get more of that? Because, what is it? There's one of the motel chains, you sleep better when you sleep there, so that way you can rule the world. I don't know, but I do. A good sleep, some nice dreams, wake up, start your ritual the next morning, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of qigong.
You're in business.
Yeah. I think, I'll let you go on this one, but I think making rituals that work is a lot of what you might learn in a temple, because there's a daily cycle and there's a regularity to it. It does change with the days and the seasons.
For sure.
But then your being and your body gets used to that. When that bell sounds, you know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to that point, ritual is perfect for winter, right? Springtime, everything's waking up. That's the time you want to do your qigong. You want to stretch and yawn, get out of bed, right? Summertime, it's really hot. You do your hard kung fu. You jump. You explode. You do the thing. Fall time, maybe you hurt yourself in a hard summer. So you can do some medicine, a little self-care, a little nourishment. Because wintertime, that's the time we hibernate, rest, and perform rituals. Now, that could be a scope of a year. That could be the scope of a day, right? Morning time, springtime, wake up, yawn, stretch. Peak of the day, high noon, heat of the day. That's when you do your hard work. Get all your labor in, right? The day is starting to settle, nightfall, go home, right? Have a meal, right? Cuddle up with the family, because wintertime, nighttime, you should be asleep, right? And you can have your nighttime ritual at that time. So I love how all these little themes are kind of tying together today. Well, Sifu,
I love that.
This is our Winter Wellness Wednesday. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on and joining us. Every Wednesday I do something different, so this is no different. It's different.
It's different because it's not different. I like that. There's something about that.
So we're still here. Awesome tips. Mahalo, more. You got it. I'm going to stop this recording, but we'll still be here. See you next time.
Sleep